With 2,500 Canadian troops based in Kandahar, whose rotation ends in February 2009, we have a Prime Minister on one hand that wants to have an extension to the mission so he can change the minds of everyone in Parliament. And he says the decision to stay or go will have to be made by Parliament rather than by his government alone. On top of all that, our Defence Minister, Peter MacKay, favours a delay until a NATO meeting next April. Are the Conservatives confused? Can Stephen Harper change the minds of those that oppose him in Parliament on this issue?
Well, Stephen Harper certainly can't change my mind or the mind of New Democrats who have been opposed to this counterinsurgency mission in Afghanistan since the Liberals took us in there. And the Conservatives extended the counterinsurgency mission in southern Afghanistan. I think the Conservatives have been all over the map on this. We've heard a different story almost weekly from spokespersons in the Prime Minister's office, in Defence Minister MacKay's office. He's waffled back and forth on the issue, and the latest we've heard now is that a decision will be made in April of the following year. So they are all over the place on it, and there may be a new story next week.
A recent poll by Ipsos Reid, 2 in 3 Canadians polled, which is 68%, want us to pull out when our mission there reaches its agreed deadline in February 2009. But a majority, 56%, wants our troops out even earlier. U.S. President George Bush is committed to pull out troops out of the Middle East by next summer. Question is, the numbers are they're plain to see. What is the best for the Canadian contingent? Should our troops get out and cut our losses?
The New Democratic Party, we have said since the beginning that a counterinsurgency mission in Afghanistan is not the way to bring peace and security to the people of Afghanistan. The people in Afghanistan are looking for an improvement in their life. More war is not bringing improvement to their life. More bombing is not bringing improvement to their lives. There's been civilians, more numbers than we know of, civilians who've been killed by aerial bombings. And it was even one of our own generals, General Leslie, who said a couple of years ago, every time you kill one insurgent, you create 10, 15 more because uncles and brothers and cousins, fathers, feel a need for retribution if one of their own is killed. So the counterinsurgency mission is just not successful. The New Democratic Party has called for that the mission end and our troops come home.
The Liberal Party will not decide its strategy until the speech from the throne is delivered. The Bloc Québécois wants the troops out by 2009, and the NDP wants them out. Now, should the opposition parties push the Conservatives into an election on this issue?
Well, I wonder if the Liberals will push the Conservatives into an election on this issue. Look, we have said in the New Democratic Party that this is the wrong mission for Canada, that Canadians do not support the counterinsurgency role that we're playing there, and we want to see it ended. We are the only party that has been very clear on the stand that we're taking.
What do you expect, hope for, or demand from the throne speech in terms of defence initiatives?
Well, I don't have any secret eye into what's being drafted for the Prime Minister right now in the speech from the throne. However, I know what New Democrats and I know what many Canadians want. They want to see Arctic sovereignty be a prime issue for Canadians, that we have the integrity of our own borders and that we look after the sovereignty of our own land. And in the Arctic, that is a huge issue with climate change and ice melt and all of the issues that come along with that.
What is your reaction from the Harper comments at the United Nations meeting in New York City this week?
Well, he's a reiteration of what they've been saying for a long time. They have a propaganda campaign going on right now, the Conservatives, trying to convince Canadians that the mission in Afghanistan is worthy of support. And obviously their propaganda campaign is not working because more and more Canadians are saying it's time to end this mission and to bring Canadian troops out of the counterinsurgency mission in Kandahar.
This week, the NDP party accused the Canadian military of writing last year's speech to Canada's Parliament by Afghan President Hamid Karzai. The allegation was based on a military situation report obtained under the Access to Information request. Now, why would important foreign dignitary, in this case the Afghan president, engage in such activities? Is this standard protocol, or is there something questionable happening behind closed doors?
Well, I think something very questionable is happening, and it's no longer behind closed doors, because through access to information, we received the document that showed the Canadian military made the first draft of President Karzai's speech to the House of Commons last September, a year ago, and that the Canadian military was very pleased after he made the speech that he followed the direction, the key messaging, the themes, all of that is mentioned in this document that I had released through access to information. It's incredible. Never heard of any foreign head of state taking direction from the military government of another country. I think Canadians, and I think members of Parliament were in the House of Commons, listened to President Karzai's speech last year, and thought that we were hearing the words of President Karzai. We did not know, and I don't think Canadians knew, that we were really hearing the speaking notes from the Prime Minister's office or through the Department of National Defence. You know, Prime Minister Harper spoke to the Australian Parliament just a short time ago. Can you imagine that the Australian National Defence would write Prime Minister Stephen Harper's remarks? I don't think so. It's unheard of. There's a protocol in place in every democratic society that there be separation from the Department of National Defence with civilian oversight. I mean, this has crossed so many boundaries that it's worthy of I think, a real investigation, and I look forward to that investigation happening.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.